The great galactic council had gathered in the luminous halls of Altheris Prime, their spires reaching beyond the clouds like gleaming spears of crystal. The chamber pulsed with tension. Representatives from 100 worlds sat in the circle of judgment, their minds linked through the neutral translation field. A single subject filled the air: Earth. For centuries, Earth had been left alone. The council had classified it as a developing world, monitored but untouched. Yet whispers had grown over the decades. Humanity had expanded beyond its system. They had colonized moons, mined asteroids, built ships capable of crossing sectors. And worst of all, they did it without asking the council's permission. Some members saw this as bold. Others saw it as dangerous. Humans are reckless, declared the envoy of Vathor. Their progress defies natural balance. They do not seek harmony, they dominate. Their aggression must be contained, added the Chancellor of Virene, a species known for their cold logic. If we delay action, they will reach our borders within a generation. A murmur spread through the chamber. The holographic image of Earth rotated above the central dais, a blue marble surrounded by satellites, ships, and orbital platforms. A small world, yet now a rising force. Not all agreed with the idea of invasion. The elder from the planet Serene spoke in a voice soft yet steady. We once underestimated the humans when we first discovered them. Their history shows resilience beyond logic. They survive everything: plague, war, extinction events. To strike them may provoke something none of us can predict. But her warning was brushed aside. Fear outweighed wisdom. The council voted. One by one, the crystals of power illuminated around the circle. Green for peace, red for war. When the light faded, the chamber glowed crimson. The vote was clear. The council had chosen to invade Earth. The first fleet was assembled, a grand armada from 10 civilizations. Their ships, vast as mountains, carried energy weapons that could melt continents. They believed the war would end in days. The invasion would be quick, decisive, merciful even. The council called it Operation Containment. Their scouts entered Sol's system in silence. The humans detected them almost immediately. No surprise there. Humanity's sensors were crude but wide-reaching. Their defense network primitive yet everywhere. The invaders expected panic. What they received was calculation. Within hours, Earth went dark. Every satellite, every beacon, every broadcast ceased. To the Council's eyes, the planet seemed abandoned. Fleet Commander Rethus, who led the Virene contingent, gave the order to descend. Begin planetary approach, he said with calm certainty. Then something unexpected happened. From behind the moon, a formation of human ships appeared. Dozens, then hundreds, each smaller than the Council's warships, yet strangely coordinated. Their hulls were black, angular, efficient. They moved in silence, without broadcast or light. Primitive vessels, Rithus murmured. No shields. No energy fields. Destroy them. The first volley from the Council ships lit up space. Yet when the energy blasts struck, the human ships did not explode. Instead, they vanished. The sensors recalibrated. No, they hadn't vanished. They had accelerated. The humans were moving at velocities the Council's instruments couldn't track. They weren't using conventional drives. They were using something else. Then came the counterattack. Small, almost invisible projectiles struck the lead Council dreadnought. They were not energy weapons, but solid slugs fired with terrifying precision. The dreadnought's armor shattered. Its reactor core ruptured. A vessel thought to be indestructible was gone in seconds. Rithus stared at the display in disbelief. Impossible. The human fleet advanced, weaving between the Council's lines like predators among prey. They didn't rely on numbers. They relied on speed, strategy, and something the Council had forgotten: instinct. The humans didn't fight by the rules of interstellar war. They didn't send messages of surrender. They didn't demand negotiation. They fought like they always had, quietly, ruthlessly, efficiently. Within hours, the first fleet was crippled. Those who survived fled toward the edge of the system, their pride shattered. The Council received the news in stunned silence. Rethus himself returned in disgrace, his once flawless armor cracked and burned. He spoke before the Council, his voice trembling. They were waiting for us. They knew our formation, our tactics, our technology. They were prepared. The Chancellor of Virene leaned forward. You mean they anticipated a galactic armada? Absurd. How could a species without FTL prediction know our approach? Rithus hesitated. They were listening. Their network isn't what we thought. It reaches beyond Sol. They have probes hidden across sectors. They study us. A chill spread through the chamber. Then came the worst news. The humans had not pursued the retreating fleet. They had not retaliated. They had simply vanished again, back into silence. No transmissions, no threats, no displays of victory. That quiet terrified the Council more than any war ever could. Weeks later, a second task force was formed, not to fight, but to negotiate. The Council could not openly admit defeat, but it sought answers. The envoy ship entered Sol's system cautiously. It carried scientists, diplomats, and observers. The planet below was active again. Lights flickered across the continents. Life continued as if nothing had happened. They were granted an audience, not on Earth, but aboard a human orbital station. The station was vast, metallic, functional. No golden halls, no grand banners. The humans greeted them in simple uniforms. Their faces were calm, their eyes unreadable. The lead diplomat, a tall man with gray at his temples, spoke first. You came uninvited. You brought war. Now you ask to talk. The Council envoy struggled for words. We misjudged your intentions. The Council feared you were expanding too fast. We sought to maintain balance, the man nodded slowly. Balance through invasion? The envoy had no answer. The human continued. You call yourselves a council of peace, yet your first act toward us was violence. We do not forget, but we are not like you. We will not seek revenge. We will simply prepare. Prepare for what? The envoy asked. For the next time someone thinks Earth is weak. He turned and gestured toward the window. Beyond it hung a colossal structure in low orbit, a ship unlike any they had seen before. It stretched for kilometers, dark and silent, its surface layered with plating so dense that no sensor could read through it. The envoy whispered, "What is that?" "A deterrent," the man said simply. "One ship. That's all we need. Because when we fight to end wars, not to win them." The envoy felt a deep unease. This was not arrogance. It was confidence, earned, unshakable, absolute. When the Council's representatives returned home, their report shattered the illusion of superiority that had lasted for centuries. The humans had achieved technological leaps that defied galactic understanding. They had developed propulsion systems unknown to physics, weapons that ignored shielding, and strategies that anticipated enemy moves through patterns of behavior rather than data. But beyond that, the humans had something else. Something no empire could duplicate, unity born of survival. Time passed. The Council watched Earth closely. Yet the humans made no threats, no alliances, no demands. They simply expanded quietly, efficiently. Their colonies grew in distant systems but never near Council space. They seemed content to be left alone. Still, whispers spread again through the halls of power. Some said the humans were waiting for the right moment. Others believed they had no interest in conquest. The truth was neither. Humanity had simply learned that power did not require domination. It required control of oneself, of fear, of purpose. The Council, however, could not forget its humiliation. During a closed assembly on Altheris Prime, several delegates called for a secret plan, a way to understand and possibly replicate human advancements. They would send covert observers to infiltrate human colonies and gather intelligence. The motion passed quietly. But when the first infiltration team arrived near a human mining outpost on Titan, they never returned. Their last transmission contained a single line. They already know we're here. After that, the Council stopped sending spies. Years later, humanity was invited, unofficially, to attend a diplomatic summit on neutral ground. The Council wanted to rebuild its image. They wanted to show that peace still ruled the galaxy. The humans arrived late. Only one representative came, traveling alone in a small ship that docked without ceremony. He entered the chamber where once the vote for invasion had taken place. The same hall, the same lights, but a different atmosphere. The councilors rose in silence as he walked to the center. He looked around the grand circle. "Once you voted to destroy us," he said calmly. "You believed that fear was strength. Now you sit in silence, unsure of what we will do. That is not peace. That is the shadow of your own guilt." No one spoke. He continued, "Earth will not join your council. Not now. We have no desire for control. But know this, we are watching. The next time you decide to judge another world by its potential, remember what happened when you judged us. With that, he turned and left. No threats, no demands, just truth. The council remained silent for a long time after he was gone. That silence would last for generations. In the years that followed, the galaxy changed. The balance of power shifted, not through conquest, but through influence. The fear of humanity's wrath turned to respect. Systems once under the Council's control began to model themselves after Earth's independent colony.